Hey, it's 9 News meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen here with a look at your forecast for today. The monsoon pattern will continue on for a few more days, so expect those afternoon clouds and good chances for thunderstorms, not only today, but also again tomorrow and possibly Wednesday before this pattern kind of comes to an end. There's also a couple of storm systems to our north that'll be rolling across the northern part of the states, and that will enhance the thunderstorm activity, not maybe in coverage, but at least in intensity. So we're expecting some severe weather today and tomorrow, possibly again on Wednesday, but at least for Monday and Tuesday. Let's take a look out there to the live radar picture right now. There's no activity. This is something we haven't seen in a while. The radar is completely clear of reflectivity from any precipitation at this hour here at the 11 o'clock hour on Monday. The last 7 days, by about 11 o'clock, we have seen storms already building across. So that's kind of a sign that that ridge of high pressure is starting to break down a little bit. The ridge that's swirling in that monsoon moisture from the southwest. And that clearing out there, man, it did clear out just a little bit last night to allow some of us to see the northern lights out there. This was sent in by Gary Mustard, Evolution Studios from Fleming, Colorado. You can see the glow, the pink glow of the aurora borealis down there at the bottom of the screen. And then he actually captured a Perseid meteor shower going through the aurora borealis. So that's a great shot there by Gary. Appreciate you sending in that cool shot here. Here's the impact headlines, the weather that's going to impact your life over the next few days. We have that monsoon continuing. It'll be 3 more days, which will kind of make it a 10-day pattern. So we at least have a 10-day monsoon. We had 0 monsoon in July, and we at least get this 10-day stretch here, and that's something. That's for sure something. It's we didn't see that at all in 2020, for example. It continued to stay dry and sunny throughout the month of August that year. So at least this 10-day pattern is a huge disruption in the heating and the evaporation that had been taking place prior to that. We do have severe weather in the forecast again today, and that will include the Front Range and the Denver metro area, but certainly looking for the bigger storms to be out to the east of Denver and the Front Range. And then we're looking at a heat up for the weekend. We could be into the 90s, low 90s, and even middle 90s by the weekend. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and each of those 3 days are looking like they're going to be pretty dry as well. So an enjoyable, perhaps the last weekend for summer for some of us. I know some have already moved on to school and the second wave of summer, the beginning of fall. Here's the severe thunderstorm risk as you see it today. It's a marginal level 1 out of 5 risk. It does include the Front Range here from Fort Collins to Denver down to Colorado Springs. And keep in mind that a marginal doesn't mean the storms will be marginally severe. They'll be severe, but the marginal means that they will be isolated, so it won't impact a lot of people. So that's why you have the level 1 instead of the 5, not because the storms are weak, but because they are not numerous. Here's the next 12 hours in the Denver metro area, looking for those thunderstorms between roughly about 1:30 and 3:30 is when the best timing for those storms will come into the Denver area. We may spike up to about 85, 86 around the 1 o'clock hour before those storms roll through, and there is some potential there for some large hail in Denver, 1 inch in diameter, and some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but the higher chance will be out to the east of Denver, and I'll go through that as we look at the computer forecast models. Here's the Front Range. Let me slow that down there for you. The zoomed into the northeast part of Colorado here, starting at this hour. storms will just start to be scattered and light in nature here over the next hour or two as we go through mostly the foothills and the mountain areas. It may stay fairly clear in the front range here of clouds until about 1:30, 2 o'clock. That's when the clouds come, and that's when the storms come, about 1:30. You can see the storms. This is the one computer forecast model showing some locations for the storms. I mean, these models don't show you the exact locations that storms will form, but it just kind of gives you a good idea of the characterization of the storms. So we're looking at some isolated cells in the Denver metro area and relatively close to severe limits, but perhaps not severe. We may see some small hail. There's a stronger storm there showing about 4 o'clock just to the east of DIA. So the timing is basically 1:30 to 4, 1:30 to 3:30 here in the Denver metro area for those stronger storms. And then look to the east at about that time, 3:30, you start to see the severe weather start to pop out there near Lyman and parts of eastern Adams County, and you can see the storms just kind of grow in intensity. This image here, this computer forecast model showing a pretty severe storm out there near Lyman down the I-70 East corridor. It could be more discrete, and what I mean by that is not these cells close together. This is kind of showing 3 thunderstorm cells very close together, and it could be more discrete than that, which means the storms could be even stronger. So I would think that there is a good chance that we see a severe thunderstorm watch issued by the Storm Prediction Center at some point this afternoon leading up to this event, just because of how strong the storms are. And if they do kind of cluster like this and form a bow, that could impact more people than it would if they had discrete cells. So it's a good chance we could see one of those severe thunderstorm watches issued, and that could go until 11 o'clock tonight, maybe even midnight, because you can still see the strong nature of those storms, that kind of second wave to the north there, taking part of Logan County and Phillips and Sedgwick as well as we go into the nighttime hours. And then maybe after 11 they start to simmer down just a little bit, but they don't go away. They'll still be there. In fact, on the Front Range Mountains and foothills, we could see a late storm, fairly decent in size, which could mean some heavy rain and some lightning very late this evening. Now, let's kind of zoom out, give you a better view of the entire state here with another computer forecast model showing what to expect here. Same situation here, scattered light showers here in the mountains between about noon and 1:30, and that is this model also showing that's when the storms move out onto the Front Range and then out onto the eastern plains. Another spot to watch for some severe weather today would be down in the southeast part of Colorado. You can see this computer forecast model showing some strong cells out there in Los Animas and Baca County as we go into the later parts of the late afternoon and early evening hours. And then by about 11 o'clock, those storms are out of the state in the southern part. But look at all the storm coverage here very late tonight as that storm system moves to the north of Colorado, just kind of bringing a shortwave trough across the state. And we'll have thunderstorm activity very late tonight, even in the southwest part of Colorado. So plenty of storm coverage coming. Here's your forecast temperatures across the northeastern part of the Colorado. Going in today, we can see those high temperatures get into the middle 80s before the clouds come and the storms come, and it'll be a quick cool down once those storms show up. So I think we stop short of hitting 90 degrees across Front Range and the eastern plains today. You see some 60s and 70s up in the mountains, and of course we saw that there could be some storm coverage up in the mountains for the entire length of today into tonight. Here's forecast high temperatures across the rest of the state. You can see some 80s out there, a little bit cooler towards the east along the Kansas and southwest Nebraska state line, and also the western slope may get a little bit of break today, staying below 90 degrees in a lot of places. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll have another risk for severe weather. You can kind of see that kind of looks like a horseshoe shape up there, including parts of Wyoming and Nebraska and Utah and our neighboring states, and that's because of that shortwave trough that's moving across the state today and tomorrow. You'll see that it's very close to the Front Range once again, so I would expect to see some pretty strong storms very close to the Denver metro area and those spots as we go through the course of tomorrow. And here's the computer forecast model. This is actually another one showing today, so I was hoping this one would show tomorrow, but it goes a little bit further. You can see tomorrow morning, it's that moisture will just kind of continue throughout the night, and we could have overnight storms in the mountains and the south or the western slope, basically all the way from the southwest up to Grand Junction area. And so that'll get a good start on tomorrow as the severe weather, this model going up to 11 a.m. tomorrow, so it's a 24-hour model there showing those storms not quite in the metro area for tomorrow, but you can see them coming across the mountains early tomorrow morning and into close to noon tomorrow. So I would look for that timing to be about similar, maybe a little bit later than it was than it's forecast to be today. So those temperatures could get up a couple more degrees warmer if the clouds hold off until 2:30, 3 o'clock tomorrow. That would also give us a higher chance of getting some severe weather going again tomorrow with the daytime heating coming across, and you see that southeast Colorado will get back up into the middle 90s again tomorrow. So here's this interesting pattern that we have here, jet stream pattern, kind of a fall-like pattern as the jet stream starts to kind of migrate down to the south here from Canada, and we'll have a couple of storm systems. So you look to the north there, storm system number one going through, I'll back it up there, that storm system right there coming to the north part of the country. This computer's really going slow here. Maybe there's too many spinny things on there, but you can see that first storm goes through on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then a second storm comes down out of the Pacific Northwest, and that could go straight back up to the northeast, but if it takes more of a straight easterly route, then we could get one more little brush of cooler air on Thursday night into Friday. Before those temperatures, you can see the high pressure building down there in the southwest part of the state once again, and that should be here in Colorado by the weekend. So we may get those temperatures up into the 90s again by Friday. You can see that showing here on the 7-day forecast. So a couple more days of stormy monsoon-like thunderstorm pattern with those afternoon clouds and thunderstorms. And then Thursday, I think it really will start to dry out unless that second storm system comes more straight down, which is not the forecast at the moment. So then we may have like a little cold front on Thursday, keeping those temperatures just slightly cooler, maybe bringing an isolated shot at a thunderstorm, but I would expect Thursday to be mostly dry for most of us, and then drying up and heating up into the weekend with those high temperatures possibly getting close to the middle 90s on Saturday, and then we'll see how long that lasts. We could be looking at a middle 90 on Sunday as well, but right now the best forecast there with the probability is in the low 90s, but we could have 4 days in the 90s there starting this weekend. So thank you for tuning in to this extended version of the forecast, and have a great Monday.